Today we were a little bit more in contact also with the yoga part, not only by our commentary on what's yoga and what's a deeper um, I, the higher self, also through the thinking of Ramana Maharshi and the teachings of the Yoga Sutras about the heart. And now we're going to do a little bit of Qigong, experience Qigong. And we are going to practice a little bit this parting of the clouds, separating the clouds, and then cultivating the joy with the redhead crane greets its love. It could be its mate, or it could be the love of a spirit, or the love of painting or gardening, or whatever comes that you feel nourishes your heart and opens it up. So for parting the clouds, again, let's remember that the hands and arms float up to the side of the body to shoulder height, and that then the hands are going to be coming towards the body and towards the chest, and that the hands are going to be coming towards the chest, and that there is this movement in the fingers. The hands are coming towards the chest, and they are doing this. There is a movement in the finger, so that then the pointing finger is going to go to the Sea of Tranquility point here, and the hands are there, and then we are dropping the resistance. This is what we learned in the first uh, session. And then after dropping the resistance, the hands move like this to make like a frame to the heart, the sun of our system, so that it can radiate light. And we are parting the clouds, whatever was burdening us, we are just kind of parting those clouds, opening so that the heart can radiate its light and can also receive light. And then we just drop the hands again. Okay? So we stand with the feet shoulder width apart, body straight and relaxed. I like to think of my head with like a sphere, perfectly balanced on top of the sphere of the chest, and both of them on top of the sphere of the abdomen, so that we know the body is straight and relaxed. We can imagine a column of energy running through the very center of these three spheres. And from that, a straight and relaxed, balanced pose, we are going to just let the arms float up to the side, and then come towards the center, bringing the fingers in. We lower our head as we look at the index fingers pointing in our Sea of Tranquility point. And then we are going to let the hands go like this, like dropping the resistance, and then they come up, framing our heart. And we are ready now to part clouds, letting go of whatever was limiting us, and smiling, and then lowering the hands. So the secret of these movements is to do it slow and flowing. Dropping the resistance, opening to what life offers us at this present moment. Smiling as we part the clouds. And let's do it 3 more times at your own pace, and thinking of your own clouds, whatever is upsetting you now or bothering you or something. See if you can come to the offering of the present moment and combine the technique with parting the clouds in your own heart. Okay, inhaling, receiving the healing light as your hands come in towards the Sea of Tranquility point, dropping the resistance of what we are working with right now. It's burdening us. ready to part the clouds. And smile. So do it in a way that's comfortable for you, that you like it. So find your own flow. It's hard now that when the hands go up, the knees go down. So we inhale, hands and arms up, knees go down a little bit. Still knees keep there. We receive this light here, drop the resistance, and as we are separating the clouds, then we are stretching the head up and straightening up. So you get this sense of first grounding yourself, arms are going up, knees are slightly bending, collecting this energy to the sea of tranquility point, and at the time that you are parting the clouds, then you are straightening up, expanding up and sideways, opening yourself. One more time, knees down, arms up. Smiling, letting go of what burdens us. Okay, so that was parting clouds. Separating clouds is more like you bend the knees and then you cross your arms, like if you are going to take out a sweater or whatever, and then bring the elbows up, stretching up like you are coming out of sleep, and you keep stretching the hands and arms, and now you are parting the clouds that were above your head, and let the sunlight come in and be bathed in the sunlight. Now change the other hand and arm on front, knees going down as you start the raising up. So what we do is we first cross the hands and arms one way, and then in the next one, if we remember, we cross it the other way. And in this one, when you cross the hands, you bend the knees, and then as you are coming up with the elbows, you're also coming up with your knees a little bit, and then stretching up like coming out of sleep, and also parting clouds. Find a way of doing it that's comfortable for you. Feel your grounding through the soles of your feet. Feel your expansion through your arms that are separating clouds. When you finally come up to separate clouds, feel the light coming, shining, bathing you, and also a great relief of having separated the clouds and once again being able to experience the sunlight. And in these last two ones that are coming out, imagine that your arms themselves are like clouds. So they are very soft. And they push those clouds, push the other clouds away. And there's this light shining on you, healing light. Remember that at the level of the atoms, we are 99.99 space. So this idea of the arms being like clouds totally correspond with that sense of spaciousness, which we are at our very essence. And now we are going to do a similar movement, but this is like the redhead crane greets its mate or greets what it loves. And as we bring the hands up, we are going to bring one of the legs up. But what I want to show you right now is that we are also going to use this mudra. Once we open, the thumb is going to be touching the second phalange of the third finger, which is this would be the representing in the meridians of the lungs, and this would be the represented the end of the pericardium meridian. So, like breathing new air, new oxygen in that membrane that is the one that protects the heart, covers the heart, and that has such an important function on how we take things in, and also how we radiate out, whether it's a response, whether it's a reaction, or it's a response, a more calm. Okay, let me see how I work with this. Okay, and as we have seen, there are very difficult challenges that some people are going through even more difficult challenges than us, and but we all somehow have different kinds of trouble. So opening our heart with compassion for our own situation, and also remembering that there is a lot of suffering and that we are just kind of opening up if you feel also for other people who are suffering. Okay, so redhead crane celebrates its mate or celebrates what it loves. So in this one, we are going to have the feet like this, open a little bit, and very similar to what we did just a moment ago. We go down, we come up, we know how to do that, okay, and then at the moment that the hands go down, the legs go up, celebrating what we love. Then down, and you may bring the leg up or you can leave it there, whatever is comfortable for your balance. The important thing is that you experience some form of opening, but don't overstretch and then lose your balance. So the important thing is what is in your heart. Okay, muy bien. Let's do 4 or 5 of this at your own pace and range, and adapt it to what feels good to you. Let's bring the joy of opening up and smile. The main thing, although it would seem okay, the main thing is the leg going up or the hands or arms. The main thing is how you can feel here. The same with parting clouds. Maybe you are walking, you want to include the movement of parting clouds. The main thing is what you bring to the resonance between your heart and your head as you practice. Okay. Okay. Let's try. Not the best. We do what we can. Okay, how are we doing? Let's do just flying crane, and then let's do this one again, see if we can do it. But I didn't sleep much last night, and so today my balance is totally off. But that's okay, it's part of what life changes brings. Okay, so the crane, just the simple crane is, the crane is one of the animals associated with long life and with summer and the heart. And so we put again the feet like this, and we're just going to raise our hands and form like crane beaks. So the hands are going to be like this as they come up. They are like this, and then when they go down, they open and down. And the feet are like this. Okay, let's go. As the arms come up, the knees go down. We form the crane beaks. And then as the hands come down, open, we stretch the spine and the head and feel the whole elongation of the spine. Again, knees down, hands and arms up, forming the beak. And then opening the hands and raising slowly down, stretching up, feeling that elongation of the spine. 3 more times. Smiling. In the rootedness. Now let's try the flying crane again. The red head crane, celebrating what it loves. And smiling. Okay. Good. So, in a way, this practice also invites us to keep practicing, and whatever results we have, we just keep coming back to balance in whatever we can do that day, and then another day we practice and the balance might be better. In my case, I didn't sleep much last night, so it's affecting a little bit my balance, but I think it's perfect for what we are trying to talk about, that it's not so much about the end result, but about coming back under all kinds of circumstances. Keep practicing. I had promised in the description of the workshop that I was going to teach you also a technique for when it's warm, a cooling breath. Since we are celebrating the summer, also we are going into the summer and might be hot, some days very hot. We were at 105 the other day here. So those days, it's good to have this technique to cool yourself. It's another way of celebrating the beauty of the summer and at the same time working with when it gets too hot. So the technique to be able to cool yourself comes from yoga, and it has 2 forms of doing it. Shitali and Sikari are the 2 names of the 2 variations. The more classical one, well, both of them really come from all times. The 2 variations are, one is like this, you put your tongue like this. And this is genetic. Some people can do it and some people cannot do it. So if you cannot do it, don't worry, there is a second variation. But if you can put the tongue like this, then you will be taking the air through there as you inhale. I mean, there are many, many, many ways of inhaling and exhaling. We usually think nose, nose, but there are all kinds of different combinations and variations. And this is one, and it produces a really cooling sense. So you put your tongue like this, and then you take the air through there. And then you exhale through the nose. So what happens when you take the air through the mouth like this, and then exhale, you will feel the cooling in the mouth and in the head, and then it spreads down. We have to keep doing it several times, but I don't know if you knew the technique from before, perhaps yes, perhaps not, but it's not complicated, it's just like that. When you're exhaling through the nose. If you cannot do this, then a very similar effect is done by just putting the teeth together and then inhaling through the teeth, and you will feel that it produces a cooling first here, and then it expands here, and then it goes to the rest of the body. So it goes like this. And then exhale through the nose. So you probably notice by now, if you just have a sense of your mouth, how much cooler it feels when you do either of the variations. Like this one, you can immediately, it's almost like you have peppermint or something in your mouth. And then it's very relaxing, feeling the air coming through the nose in the exhalation, a long, slow exhalation. And you probably know that when you do a long, slow exhalation, you are stimulating your parasympathetic nervous system. So you are stimulating the system that has to do with relax, repair, and grow. While you have rapid breath, short inhalations, and mainly here, either through the mouth or through the, it produces a state of anxiety, and that stimulates the sympathetic nervous system, which is not so simpatico. Sympathetic nervous system, which is the one that's about fight, flight, or freeze. And so that's the one that we tend to go to by defect. When we worry and all that, our breathing is more shallow and is more anxious. When we want to relax, we want to make our exhalations longer and the breathing slower. And that's what stimulates the parasympathetic nervous system, which one of the main parts is the vagus nerve that goes from here all the way along the spine to the very end of the spine, and it affects all the ramifications of nerves along the spine. It helps with relaxing the lungs, the heart. It also informs the functioning of the stomach and spleen on the right side, and the liver and the gallbladder on the stomach and the spleen on the left side, and the liver and the gallbladder on the right side, and the kidneys. So it's very important as a way of supporting the well-being of our whole body that we have long, slow exhalations, because that's very good for our nervous system and for the vagus nerve, which is super important for having a sense of relaxation. And when the body is relaxed, then it functions to its best capacity. And neuroscience is confirming that. Okay, so that's the cooling breath. I can also send you a video with it so that if you want to practice along. And I had also mentioned in the description a technique to cultivate joy, and it could be different ones of the ones we have practiced. The loving kindness is one of those that really helps to cultivate joy, because when we connect with the heart and with our capacity to love and to send love, there is inner peace, and then there is this subtle joy and that comes to us. And another practice that comes from Qigong, it's called the inner smile, and it's also related to the sunlight. So we are celebrating the summer and the sunlight in our heart radiating out. We can also work with what's coming in and what we are radiating out. So let's say I'm here in front of the sun, in front of an open window, and I'm taking the light in. So I inhale and sense the sun kissing me, or the light coming in, or let's say you are at night and you want to practice, but you want to feel the sense of light touching you. That's the same. Let's say light or sun. It's very nice with the actual sun if you can be there, because it's more concrete to sense the touch. But you can also do it anywhere. I mean, something that you probably will take from this workshop is that the main thing is your own capacity to get in touch with your sources of inner peace and light, and then moving the energy from inside out, not depending on the outer circumstances to change, so that you can start to feel happy or to feel healed or whatever. So in this case, we have a little bit of sunlight coming in. I'm not right under the sun, but I'm going to be closing my eyes and sensing the light touching my face, illuminating my face, and taking that light in. And as I exhale, I will let go like dark vapors of whatever is wearing me. And again, when the time comes to inhale, I'm going to sense that light touching my face, warming my face, and bringing a smile that goes from my lips to my eyes. Just the pleasure of being alive, the pleasure of breathing, being able to breathe, the pleasure to be in a space of peace, no war at the time. Taking in these blessings and smiling, the inner smile. And as we exhale, exhaling through the mouth, whatever it could be upsetting us or bothering us or pain, letting this be the time of releasing that. Exhale. You can imagine like dark vapors going out. So you get this light in and smile. Feeling your head and your crane, your whole skull, your whole head takes the light in. And when the time comes to exhale, you exhale like dark vapors. Your physical pain, your worries, your irritability. The key here is a smile. So as you breathe in these blessings, smile. And exhale, letting go of the dark vapors and feeling your whole face illuminated, your whole head illuminated. And now we are going to imagine that that light goes down from your head, also along your neck and the spine. So you're having your whole neck and spine, your vagus nerve illuminated with this light as you inhale. And still, when you exhale, letting go of dark vapors, Maybe they are a little bit less darker, or maybe you're still having quite a lot that you need to release. Exhale it, like dark vapors. Inner smile, inhaling, letting that light move down along our spine and along our nervous system, and now becoming like light that moves inside our body, illuminating all the cells of our body. This healing light, and we exhale dark vapors. So we're becoming progressively more and more illuminated by this inner smile that keeps turning in all the lights in the cells of our body, along our arms, our chest, our abdomen, as we keep breathing and smiling. And we exhale through the mouth the dark vapors. Inhaling in the light, exhaling the worries. And now imagining that it also runs down, the light also runs down our legs to our feet. So now the whole body is filled with light. And we smile. And we can do this whether we are out and about, or whether we are laying in bed. Wherever we are, we can invite this sense of an inner smile, of this healing light coming into us, and of this releasing, relinquishing of what's burdening us. And now we're going to visualize that light that was in our face, in our head, also coming particularly to our heart. Coming from the head down to the heart, or you can breathe the light directly into your heart. And we smile with gratitude for being alive, for being able to breathe, for having been born human. Let that light touch our light in our heart. And if we still feel something here, we can either put our hands like this, covering our heart, or we can do the dispersing of the clouds, the separating clouds. Sorry, the parting clouds. They have similar names, parting clouds. And we can combine this with nourishing the heart, which is another very simple practice that we did yesterday, which is bringing your hands to the side and then sensing what is that your heart needs right now, and bringing that to your heart and nesting your heart with your two hands, giving that to your heart. Okay, let's do it 2-3 times, although one time and staying with it is also possible. Just bringing the qualities that your heart is longing for. What is your heart needing right now? And using these two hands to nest your heart, bowing your head and being compassionate and loving towards yourself, and especially to your heart. What is that you're longing for? What is that can help you drop the resistance and open to what life is offering right now? that can help you to connect with your warmth towards yourself first, and also towards others. If you feel like it right now, don't force anything. Just work with what your heart is asking for. Experience, open, receive that your heart is wanting for. Nourishing your heart so that it can express its own warmth. And then bringing the hands to the side, receiving from the universe all this that your heart also needs, and bringing the hands up and receiving all that, bathing yourself with everything that you feel your heart is asking for, to awaken, to rest, to bloom, to ripen. And we do several of these, opening up to receive from the universe these blessings, so that we can connect with our deep inner nature, our consciousness, higher consciousness, which in practice is basically peace and love. Opening to receive, knowing, trusting the journey, and bathing, receiving these blessings from the heavens, letting them be in you, bathe inside and out with these blessings. And feel your connection to the earth and to your deep inner earth, inner grounding. We are going to close by bringing our hands towards the area of the heart, and then making a fist with the hand that we use most, and then covering that fist with the other hand, and making a bowing to each of the people that have accompanied us in this journey, in this weekend, to our community here, accompanying them, each of them in their own journey. Then again, bringing those hands together and bowing to the teachers that we have had in our life ever since we were little, whoever, friends, relatives, other teachers that have accompanied us in this journey of discovering a reality that transcends the struggles of every day. Also people that have loved us and help us that way to keep growing and blooming. And teachers who have offered teachings from various traditions. So connecting all that in our heart. And then the third bowing always having your fist of your most, the hand that you use most, covered by the other hand. We bow to ourselves and to the journey that has taken us to this moment, and to the seeds that we are planting, and our new purpose of watering them, keeping them in our life. And so we bow to ourselves, to our deep inner nature, and to our daily striving person, struggling, celebrating, whatever. So we bow to ourselves, to all dimensions of ourselves. Okay. So thank you for coming. Hope that some of these resonates with you and you can take with you. And I would love to hear how is it going.